In the heart of Rome's darkest hour, one man stood as a lone bastion of loyalty against a tide of betrayal. His name was Sempronius Densus, a centurion whose courage has echoed through history as a symbol of unyielding honor. The year was 69 AD, known as the Year of the Four Emperors. After Emperor Nero's suicide, Rome descended into chaos. Ambitious generals, scheming politicians, and restless legions clashed for power in a deadly game of thrones. Among the contenders was Galba, an experienced military leader backed by the Senate. Yet his reign was doomed from the start. Galba's strict policies alienated the common people, and his failure to win the loyalty of the Praetorian Guard, the emperor's own protectors, would prove fatal. In a fateful decision, Galba named Piso Licinianus, a young and unproven senator, as his successor. This move enraged Otho, a rival with ambitions of his own. Otho acted swiftly, bribing the discontented Praetorian Guard to his side. Promises of wealth and favor turned the elite soldiers into traitors. On January 15, 69 AD, Otho declared himself emperor. With the Praetorian Guard now loyal to him, he ordered the assassination of Galba and Piso. The streets of Rome turned into a battlefield as Galba's entourage faced betrayal and overwhelming opposition. Amid this betrayal, one man stood firm, Sempronius Densus. Unlike his fellow guards who abandoned their oaths, Sempronius remained loyal to Galba and his chosen heir. Sempronius confronted the traitorous Praetorians, urging them to remember their duty to Rome. His words fell on deaf ears. The guards, blinded by greed, moved to strike. Realizing words would not prevail, Sempronius chose action. Armed with his vine staff, a symbol of his authority, and a sword, he stood alone against a tide of enemies. Against overwhelming odds, Sempronius displayed unmatched bravery and skill. He struck down several attackers, buying precious moments for Galba and Piso. But even the mightiest hero cannot defy fate forever. Overwhelmed by sheer numbers, Sempronius was struck down. His sacrifice, though extraordinary, could not halt the tide of treachery. Galba was brutally murdered, and Piso, who sought refuge in the sacred temple of Vesta, was dragged out and executed. The conspirators celebrated as Otho was declared emperor. But Otho's victory was short-lived. His 3-month reign was marked by instability and conflict. In April 69 AD, Otho faced defeat at the hands of Vitellius, another contender for the throne, and took his own life. Vitellius, now in power, sought to consolidate his rule by punishing those involved in Galba's assassination. The very guards who betrayed their oaths paid the ultimate price. Yet, amid the chaos and shifting allegiances, the story of Sempronius Densus stood out. Ancient historians like Plutarch praised him for his rare fidelity to principle in a time when betrayal was rampant. His actions remind us that even in the darkest times, individuals can rise above the fray and leave a lasting legacy. Sempronius chose to fight not for personal gain, but to honor the ideals that should have defined Rome. The year 69 AD was a turning point in Roman history. The rapid rise and fall of emperors during this period exposed the fragility of the empire's leadership structure. Ultimately, stability was restored when Vespasian emerged as the sole ruler, founding the Flavian dynasty. But the lessons of loyalty and betrayal during this tumultuous year remained etched in Rome's memory. Sempronius Densus may not have saved Galba or Rome that day, but his unwavering courage serves as a timeless reminder that even in moments of despair, the actions of a single person can inspire generations. His sacrifice stands as a testament to the enduring power of loyalty, a virtue that outlives the chaos of politics and the fall of emperors. Sempronius Densus was more than just a centurion. He was a symbol of the values that Rome claimed to cherish: duty, loyalty, and unwavering honor. But his sacrifice also highlights the fragility of those values during times of political upheaval. The Praetorian Guard, meant to protect Rome's emperors, had become infamous for their role in power struggles. They were no longer guardians of the empire but kingmakers, driven by ambition and greed. For the people of Rome, the betrayal and murder of their emperor marked yet another blow in a series of crises. Trust in the stability of the empire was eroding, and the year of the four emperors was far from over. After Otho's self-proclaimed ascension, the empire continued to unravel. Rivals like Vitellius and Vespasian prepared to stake their claims to the throne, leading to even more bloodshed. Sempronius Densus's name is etched in ancient texts, with depictions of his defiant last stand immortalized as a symbol of courage. His actions remind us that even in the darkest times, individuals can rise above the fray and leave a lasting legacy. His defiance in the face of overwhelming odds became a symbol of courage, loyalty, and honor. The year 69 AD was a turning point in Roman history. Ultimately, stability was restored when Vespasian emerged as the sole ruler, founding the Flavian dynasty. But the lessons of loyalty and betrayal during this tumultuous year remained etched in Rome's memory. Sempronius Densus may not have saved Galba or Rome that day, but his unwavering courage serves as a timeless reminder that even in moments of despair, the actions of a single person can inspire generations. His sacrifice stands as a testament to the enduring power of loyalty, a virtue that outlives the chaos of politics and the fall of emperors. Sempronius Densus's sacrifice was not the end of his story, nor was it the end of Rome's struggles. His defiance, though momentary, cast a long shadow over the unfolding drama of the empire. The chaos that consumed 69 AD had its roots deeper in Rome's recent past, where the seeds of instability were sown during the notorious reign of Nero. It was Nero's unchecked decadence and tyrannical rule that shattered the confidence of the Senate and the legions, paving the way for the political quagmire that followed his death. As the empire descended into the violent upheaval of the year of the four emperors, figures like Sempronius Densus became rare beacons of loyalty in an era dominated by betrayal. The events of this year were not isolated. They were the culmination of decades of tension, where power became a commodity traded in blood and ambition. To truly understand why men like Sempronius were so extraordinary, one must trace the chain of events back to the reign of Nero, a ruler whose actions set Rome on this treacherous path. The empire burned, literally and figuratively, under Nero's rule, his whims unchecked and his enemies silenced. It was Nero who ignored the warning signs of unrest and drained Rome's resources in pursuit of personal glory. His legacy of fear and indulgence destabilized the foundations of Rome's governance, creating the perfect storm for the chaos that erupted after his fall. Stay with us as we unravel how Nero's reign sowed the seeds of betrayal and set the stage for the struggles of 69 AD, a year that tested the very fabric of Rome's identity. The story of Sempronius Densus is just one chapter in a saga that reveals the true cost of power, loyalty, and ambition in one of history's greatest empires. The fall of Nero marked the beginning of an unprecedented struggle for control over the Roman Empire, one that exposed the vulnerabilities of its political machinery. After Nero's death, the question of succession became a bloody free-for-all, with generals, senators, and provincial governors vying for the ultimate prize, the imperial throne. Galba's brief reign, supported initially by the Senate and a few loyal legions, was an attempt to restore order, but his strict reforms and failure to secure the loyalty of the Praetorian Guard sealed his fate. The betrayal that led to Galba's assassination was emblematic of the deep cracks within Rome's power structure. The Praetorian Guard, once a symbol of imperial stability, had evolved into a force of opportunism, willing to sell its allegiance to the highest bidder. This transformation did not happen overnight. It was the product of years of unchecked influence and manipulation by emperors who sought to use the Guard as both a shield and a weapon. Yet, as Rome reeled from Galba's death and Otho's rise, the empire's heartlands weren't the only regions in turmoil. In the provinces, powerful generals like Vitellius and Vespasian marshaled their forces, claiming legitimacy for their own bids for power. Civil war erupted across the empire, with battles fought not only for the throne but for the very soul of Rome. Each claimant promised stability, yet their actions plunged the empire deeper into chaos. Amid this backdrop of greed and ambition, the story of Sempronius Densus resonated. His defiance became a poignant reminder of what Rome was losing in its relentless quest for power, a commitment to honor, duty, and the greater good. While emperors fell and armies clashed, the memory of a lone centurion who stood his ground against impossible odds endured, inspiring those who still believed in Rome's ideals. But the chaos of 69 AD was far from over. The empire's destiny would hinge on another man, one who had watched the carnage from afar and would soon make his move, Vespasian. His ascension would mark the end of the year of the four emperors, but not without a final, decisive struggle, a reckoning that would determine whether Rome could rise from the ashes or collapse entirely. The lessons of loyalty and betrayal learned in this tumultuous year would shape the empire for generations to come.